Hello everyone, we've got a little bit of a shop update on the KX500 and I am so sorry for not doing any more videos. Made a lot of progress on the bike, as you can see. I think the last time we shared this, I was talking about the forks and the coating on the fork legs, but I managed to get the tank on and managed to get the seat on, and I've got a bunch of different seats that I had bought, and this particular cover is from an outfit out of Thailand called Pit Replica, and I will say it was extremely difficult to get on the seat cover and line everything up, but I also have a higher seat foam on this particular bike than the stock, so that may be it, but it is definitely very exact. You just need a heat gun and a lot of patience. And as you can see, it looks awesome. And these are actually from EVO MX, I believe, out of the UK, and the graphics are killer. So one of the things I've noticed, there are some seats floating around, I think from EVO MX, and they're pretty awesome, but you'll see that the line on the EVO MX seats, at least from my understanding, what I've seen, it looks like these lines kind of come up and they stop about here. And the original bike, if you look at, pictures like I have, it came all the way closer to here. It was a lot more of a flatter line. So definitely not easy to line all this up. You'll see a lot of pictures of different bikes on the internet, but you can do it. The other side is the same. And as you know, we've got an 89 tank on there, which I think looks awesome. We did a lot of work cleaning up the wheels, getting the spokes shiny again. Got some new brake guides for the swing arm. I've been polishing up the frame. I was debating getting rid of these and maybe putting the UFO plastic ones, but I think I'm going to leave them. They kind of stick out a little bit in terms of just the aesthetics, but I can't stand the frame getting all worn. So what do you guys think? I mean, if I had redone this and powder coated it, I'd totally take them off. But I got bigger news. It's not just cosmetics that we're working on. Here's a clue as to what's going on. If you look right under there, there's a sticker from Tom Morgan Racing, and I have been going to town, getting stuff done and making it happen. We have put the cases back together and got everything good in the cases. Got the transmission back in. I'm sorry for not documenting the process. I gotta tell you guys, I was thinking about it, but I was so nervous, and it's the first time I've actually reassembled a bottom end. I was like, I'm just going to focus on doing it right. Maybe if I do another bike, that's the time to kind of show people what I'm doing. But I got the transmission in. I shifted through all the gears. What I did kind of like a mock press fit of the transmission in the cases. And then I shifted through all the gears before I dropped the crank in. And I, tightened up the case bolts just to see. And then once I shifted through everything and everything was cool, I then slowly took off the other side of the case, and then I dropped the crank in. Now what I did, Mike Weir, KX Guru Racing, and Tom Morgan told me what to do. I stuck the crank in the freezer overnight, got it really cold, got the heat gun out, I heated up the bearings and the cases, particularly, obviously the inner bearing, got them up to about 220. I'd stuck the cases in the oven with the transmission, and I was getting them up to about 170, and then I just took out the heat gun and I went around with the heat gun. Now it's a thermal heat gun, so I didn't use like a propane torch. So I don't want to melt the bearing. Tom told me go ahead and put a lot of grease around the bearing. If you go too hot, it's going to start to smoke, and then you'll know, and it'll protect the bearing. So everything went in really good. This side dropped in like nothing. It was actually, no, I'm sorry. The other side dropped in like nothing. And then when I brought the top part of the case, this case here on, it got hung up a little and I had to use the crank puller, but it was totally cool. So anyway, that was pretty awesome. I've got everything else here. Now this is a very awesome screw setup that Tom Morgan made me to adjust the power valve. And so everything is set up. I've got everything torqued down. These guys are torqued. Everything is good. The next thing I'm going to do is check the head gasket placement, because there is an interesting thing with these head gaskets. I don't know if you can see. One of these holes is actually bigger than the other, and I'll show you right where it is. And I'm going to do some research. I'll probably send a message to some friends. But if you notice, this hole is smaller than this one. And so the question is, which way does it go? And it probably has to do with flow, I'm sure. I would suspect the flow is probably going to be the bigger one. It's probably going to be the flow in or out. But like I said, we'll figure it out. Then I'm going to do a solder test. I'm probably going to drop some solder in here, torque down the head bolts, and then see what my X dimension is, or what my squish is, I should say. X dimension is a KTM term for this little gap here, this little drop, if there is one. I'll check that. I'll write Tom Morgan and say, hey, Tom, do you think this is going to be okay? Am I going to need to run any sort of higher octane gas based on that squish? And then from there, we should be good. The other thing Tom Morgan did, in addition to repairing my cases, putting new journals, fixing the crank journals, is he put this awesome little compression release on the cylinder. So that is incredible. I mean, look at the welds. The man is absolutely incredible. So Tom Morgan Racing, I cannot recommend more than I can at this point. I spent $2,700 extra dollars going to a local guy. You guys know some of my stories and some of my shorts. Nothing against or wrong with the guy, but when you're dealing with KX500s, there's a lot of stuff in these motors that can go wrong. There's a lot of stuff that you need to be aware of, and Tom is the man. Former factory mechanic for Jeff Ward. You know, these are great motors. However, as Tom will tell you, and I believe as well, some of the things like the bearings and such, the force, because these cranks are not perfectly balanced from Kawasaki, the force is so much that eventually, after years, you know, these are 20-some years old right now, even if you got a 2004, you know, and most of the 90 ones are pushing 30 years old. There's a lot of wear. There's a lot of torque on these engines, so you got to do it right. Go to Tom Morgan. Could have saved me $2,700. And you know what? How much do you guys think I spent for this KTM 500? 20 years ago, I got this for $900. And these things use roller bearings. Their crank bearings barely ever go out. This bike, KTM 440, how much did I spend on this? $900. Guy on KTM Talk had it for sale. Looked pretty much like this. This 250R, $900. So $2,700 just to be wasted. Not cool, right? $600 for the Tri-Z and fix it up. So anyway, guys, that was 20 years ago. Obviously, things are more expensive now, and that's the way it is. But the bike is coming along good. Just wanted to give you guys an update. And once I pop the engine in, or when I finish the engine, I'll give you all a little bit of an update of what the motor looks like. And the seat is just phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff. Let me know what you think. I want to show y'all something too. The Climber manual is really good. If you guys are putting together KX500, not everything is in here, but I want to show you the seat. So look at this. See the original bike? See where this went up to? Just right there. Right there. So that's it, guys. We're having fun. We're getting it done. And I'm excited, and just pray everything works and she starts up. But she's a beauty. And that's what we're doing. So let me know your thoughts. And if you got a KX500, let me know what you are doing with her. And if you have a 92, man, definitely let me know. We love these things.